My dad has a favorite kid, and it isn't me. Growing up, I always knew my older brother Tyler was the golden child. Dad never missed one of his baseball games. Not one. Meanwhile, I played soccer for 4 years, and Dad showed up to maybe 3 games total. Always had an excuse. Work ran late, car trouble, had to help Tyler with homework. The worst part wasn't even the missed games. It was the little stuff. Tyler got a new laptop for his 16th birthday. I got a $50 gift card to Target. Tyler wanted to go to this expensive summer camp for baseball. Dad paid the full $2,000 without blinking. I asked if I could do an art program that cost $300, and suddenly we needed to be more careful with money. When I was 17, I started working at this pizza place after school. Saved up for months because I wanted to buy my own car. Nothing fancy, just something that ran. Found this old Camry for $2,000. Dad said it was a good deal and I should go for it. So I bought it with my own money. 2 months later, Tyler turned 16. Dad bought him a car. An actual nice car. A Mazda that was only 3 years old. Cost like 12 grand. I remember standing in the driveway when Dad drove it home with this big ribbon on it. Tyler was screaming and hugging Dad. Mom was taking pictures. And I just stood there thinking about how I scraped together tips and minimum wage for months to buy a car that barely had working air conditioning. Senior year, I applied to colleges. Got into a pretty decent state school. Not Ivy League or anything, but it had a good graphic design program. Dad kept saying he'd help me with financial aid forms later. Later turned into next month. I ended up doing it all myself, staying up until midnight trying to figure out tax documents I barely understood. Tyler's college application season came the next year. Dad took 2 days off work to drive him to campus tours, helped him with every single essay. Tyler got into a private school that cost $40,000 a year. Dad said they'd figure it out, that his boy deserved the best education. I was already at state school by then, working part-time at the campus bookstore. Dad sent me money sometimes, $200 here, $300 there. Tyler never had a job in college. After I graduated, I moved 2 hours away for a job. Dad visited Tyler at school 6 times that year. I lived closer and Dad visited me 0 times. I drove home for Christmas and Thanksgiving. That was it. Last year, Tyler graduated. Dad threw him this huge party, rented out a whole restaurant, invited like 70 people, had a photo slideshow, the works. When I graduated 3 years earlier, we had dinner at Olive Garden with just immediate family. Tyler got a Rolex as a graduation gift. I got a card with $200 in it. A few months ago, Dad called me. First time he'd called in probably 6 months. Said he wanted to talk about his will. He laid it all out on the kitchen table. Tyler gets the house. Tyler gets the investment accounts. Tyler gets Dad's truck collection. I get $10,000 and some furniture. The house alone is worth like $400,000. The investments are probably another $200,000. The trucks are maybe $60,000 total. Tyler's getting over $600,000 in assets. I'm getting 10 grand and a couch. Dad said he thought this was fair because Tyler has a family to think about now. Tyler got married last year. Dad said Tyler would need the house for his future grandchildren. I asked what about my future kids. Dad just shrugged and said I was always more independent, that I'd figure it out like I always do. Like being independent was my choice and not something I had to learn because no one was helping me. I left that day and didn't speak to Dad for 3 months. Then yesterday, Tyler called me, said he needed to talk in person. His voice sounded weird, guilty almost. Said it was about Dad's will. I showed up this morning and Tyler looked like he hadn't slept. He said Dad called him right after I left that day, told him the whole breakdown, but Tyler said he felt sick hearing the numbers. 600 grand versus 10. Said he never realized how different Dad treated us until he saw it all written down like that. Then Tyler slid an envelope across the table. Legal documents. He said he wants to split everything 50-50. The house, the investments, the trucks, all of it. Said he'd already talked to his wife and she agreed that I'm his brother and this is what brothers do. I just sat there holding these papers. My phone's buzzing in my pocket and I can see it's Dad calling. He probably found out Tyler went to a lawyer. Tyler leans forward and says, "The lawyer needs an answer by end of day to start the paperwork before Dad can change anything. You in?" Full story on channel linked below.